Hello, my name is Allison, and this video is in response to Module 12, Promote Creative Expression. And what I did is I used two children. Both of them are actually special needs. One is ADHD anxiety, and the other is on the spectrum. They're both my granddaughters, so I have permission to talk about them. And so I used them for various reasons. When this topic came up, in other words, this lesson, when it came up, I was like, great, this is easy as can be. So what I did was I gathered a lot of my materials. I have a whole bunch. I kind of wanted to incorporate like Play-Dohs and finger painting and paint brushes and all that good stuff, but I know that if I started that, it would be longer than the video needed to be, so I didn't do those items. I just went ahead and I did other items, which is in the video. I incorporated like shoelaces, toothpicks, which I should have put maybe some cotton and cotton swab Q-tips. That would have been creative, but I didn't even think of that one when I was gathering my materials. I went through my, I have a whole lot of materials for my job. Anyway, so some of my ideas when I laid out all the material and I had to connect with it, the shoelaces, there's lots and lots of things you could do with shoelaces. One of them is the fine motor skills and the creative thinking, having the children, think of things to do using shoelaces. It's like, wow, creative thinking, problem solving, supporting independence when they do something on their own, and visual thinking, well, let me see if I can copy that type of thing. And so I like to incorporate a whole bunch of things when I'm dealing with kids, but the shoelaces was one thing that when I was thinking, what can you do with it? Again, you could put it through, you could even put it through pieces of pasta, for example, and you can make like a necklace type of thing. Or beads. You could use shoelaces for lots of things. Wrapping around, making, tying it together. Tying it together, making it long. And ideas, the open-ended objects that's why they're called open-ended. Toothpicks. I always took that idea from my son when he was little. He would just always be creative and make things. Toothpicks, he would put them together, make houses, which in this case my granddaughter did as well. And I've just seen amazing things done with toothpicks. So you can make a whole bunch of things as long as you have creativity. You could make a square, you could make a triangle, you could make a rectangle, you could make a house, you could make you could dip them into paint and put it on the paper, and it'll make creative lines. It's endless. Those are things I thought of when I actually took the toothpicks out, but then I put the paint away, so we didn't kind of do that. Cups. Well, cups, I like to bounce a ball and see if I can make it in there. Consistency, eye-hand coordination type of thing. Again, creative thinking. See how, the angles that they could use, the perspective. See the perspective of an object that you give a kid, how they see it versus how you see it. And that's what I liked about this this challenge. The ice cream cup, well, you could fill it up and you could fill it up, for example, with cotton balls, or you could leave the cotton balls to the end, and you could fill it up with anything. The balls would have worked, and then you could have used cotton balls to simulate like whipped cream. And again, I didn't think of the cotton balls, but it is what it is for next time. Yarn is, you could use yarn for a whole bunch of things. Yarn nowadays, believe it or not, the kids are into it. Any school I go to and work, you see the little girls there at their recess time, they're crocheting, including my granddaughters. So yarn is a really good thing. When I think about it, you can make letters out of yarn, putting them on the construction paper. You could make shapes with it. You can make similar to what you could do with shoestrings. You could put things through it. You could put pasta through it. You could put beads through it. You could put anything that has a hole that is closed that it won't fall off. You could put through it. The ideas are endless. What are other things? I had the little a case. I purposely had the case so my granddaughter could put things in it, and her original idea was to put her doll in there, her which is a giraffe. It's not a doll, it's a giraffe stuffed animal. She tags that bear that stuffed animal everywhere. So you'll see in the video she incorporated him in the video. So anyway, let's get to answering the questions that is on this subject. Instead of writing it, I decided to make a video. Hopefully I'm answering everything correctly. What ideas came to mind with the materials that I play with, that I already answered. Lots of things, and I do this on a daily basis, and whatever the kid wants to do, I just roll with it. Sometimes they'll just put it in a line. You could use it for measuring. It's endless. Problem solving. What challenges did you encounter and how did you overcome them? Well, the challenges that I found myself in is the materials that I took out and then put away. I should have left those materials, such as the Play-Doh, the finger painting, the cotton balls, and the Q-tips I didn't think of. But the cotton balls, I should have kept all that out, and excuse me, and it would have served the session better. But it is what it is. I made it work through other things, such as the toothpicks and the shoelaces. So I answered that. Problem solving and material additions. I hope I answered those two questions with what I just said. The personal creativity. How did this activity help you explore your own creativity? Well, I kind of do this every day. So I don't think it did anything, because it's a natural thing that I do every day. In what I do, I have to go and I have to pull materials out and say, okay, today I'm going to go ahead and work on this with him, or I'm going to work on this with whatever the day, whatever I decide the day before is the material I pull out for the following day. Application, or let me go, solo versus group play. What difference did you notice between playing alone and playing with others? Well, that's easy. When you play alone, you have to think of everything. When you play with others, you could share ideas. So the other, even though in the video they were parallel playing, the children, they were parallel playing, but they were still engaging, if that makes sense. I mean, my granddaughter, they were both playing with cups in the beginning. They both had their creative ideas, completely different from the other, but they were working on the same thing, just parallel. And that went great. I think that was awesome. And so I'm reading, how might your creative how might you create similar experiences for your students to engage in creative and exploration? Well, again, I do this every day, and I just let kids be creative. I let them choose what they want to play with, and then I get them, I give them the services they need, and then they get to play with what they wanted. Sometimes I'll even write down things, so when they're playing, I remind them, hey, but you said you wanted to do this, and then I remind them of that, and it works out well. So the difference is playing alone versus playing with a group. Again, it's the creativity. You could share it amongst each other. You could pass it back and forth, and you could come up with ideas that you didn't think about, but that now you can incorporate, or you could do the same for the next person who is playing together with you or parallel playing. And that's it. So some of this idea, the creative expression, and what do kids learn and get out of it? Well, number one, they get to use their own mind and do whatever they want to do. Free play. It gives them the opportunity to express their creativity, and you can learn their way of thinking by seeing how they actually play and how they develop, and what motivates them. This also gives them an opportunity to socialize. They had the opportunity to socialize with each other, but even though they did not, because they're sisters in this case, they're always talking with each other, they just went and they did their own thing. Creative thinking, they got to think creatively. What can we do with this? How can I use this for other than what it's intended for? Problem solving. Okay, well, my one granddaughter, she wanted to build, she wanted to fill as much stuff in that cup until it tipped over. She took it down before it tipped over because she noticed that there was no more room. Well, next time I could show her how to fill that cup to fit most of those items, and then watch it topple over, and then see her creative way of building something on her own. Supporting independence. They are learning how to be independent thinkers. Hey, look, I could show them this way. Instead of them always showing me the way, I could show them the way. Visual thinkers. They look at something and they're like, how can I change this? Curiosity. Toys and open-ended items. It opens curiosity to wonder. How does it work? How can they use it to their own creative independence? That's what this is all about. Exploration. It gives them the same basis. It gives them a moment to explore what they're playing with. Discovery. They could discover so many things while they're playing, even with a pen, with the letters. I mean, here you have red, white, and blue. You have letters. You could explore. You could take it out. You could open the pen. This is like almost an open-ended toy. You could open it, you could press, you could twist, you could hold, you could flick, you could identify, you could it's like a cylinder, the shape. There's a lot of things just with this one pen. So it's all about your imagination, how you imagine this pen and what you could do with it. The things are endless. So I hope I answered the questions to this assignment accurately. I had fun doing it. All I got to say, Professor, is you are lucky because you get to collect all of our creative thinking, and it builds your knowledge, and you probably have a head filled with creative ideas. A lot of them are yours, but a lot of them I'm sure you've heard from us, and you're a lucky person to be able to have all that knowledge. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. This this course has been awesome so far, and I look forward to completing it. Thank you.